Promise my mic's muted.
Okay, just do push to talk for us. Thanks.
Does anyone?
All right, guys. Well, back to Scarlet.
I'm sorry. Does anyone else have any Muta vs. Muta replays they have? Because it would take me a bit to find one.
I kind of had a quick question, just off topic, about like Protoss versus Zerg.
Sure. Sure.
Well, I was finding that yes, sentries are good against Mutalisks, especially when Muta's first. And Immortals with the sentries, I feel if they're doing like a Roach Muta play is very strong, but if they're going with a Ling, do you feel it would be smarter to go with Lots and tick up to Colossi and wait for more of like a mid-game engagement?
Well, if you want to do an Immortal Sentry attack, that's fine, even if they're going a lot of Lings or something, just because if you force field well, then they're not going to be able to engage with the Zerglings anyways. So, yeah, if you're doing like Immortal Sentry, it's great against Zerglings too, just because they know how to deal with force fields very well. But, and yeah, most of the time their mutas won't be out. Like, if they get mutas out, they won't have enough to fight your army straight up. So, yeah, you're fine, like, attacking with Immortal Sentry. The thing you have to worry about is if you get quick Hydras out. That's the biggest issue with Immortal Sentry, yeah, quick Hydras. But lanes are fine, you just force field them. And if they do get Hydras, you can either get Storm or Colossus, whatever. Hydras are weak to splash damage.
The echo's actually coming
from me?
Maybe, possibly, or if you're on the Twitch, it could be the out as well.
No, I don't have Twitch open. I have headphones on as well, so I don't think I should be echoing.
I don't hear it.
Who has control this replay?
Yeah, if you have Twitch open, you're echoing because a lot of people got invited to the chat that weren't already in there. I don't hear the echo anymore since I muted Twitch.
Okay. Can you speed up the replay for now? Because this is all really neat. Pull first, touch first. Gas before 320. How fast is your gas? Can you pause that for a second?
게임을 일시 정지합니다.
Yeah, on this map, you can actually, if you're opening, like even if they're opening pool first, you can actually scout their main base with your first overlord. So if you send it, like, yeah, we can rehost, and if I could have control, that would be nice. Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, the first overlord, I want to go over this because it's an important thing. You can actually, on this map specifically, and most maps you can't, but on this map, even if they're going pool first, you can check their main base and check their gas times. And I wanted to mention that I think you could have just won that game with the early inning attack based on her gas timing. But I want to show you how you can see that.
Just so everyone knows, I actually have to leave. But thank you for the coaching. Definitely, it helped a lot.
No problem.
Really. Right, have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Take it easy, Bleak.
Good night. Bye, Bleak.
So, yeah, the first thing I noticed in this game was the gas timing of when she took her gas compared to when you took your gas. And this is quite important because I mentioned to the people watching when I was playing when I took my gas, and it's actually quite important. The gas timings at the start, it might not seem like a big deal, but if you go into a Ling Banling attack and they're going Ling Banlings themselves, but their gas is too far behind your gas, you can just hit them before their banelings are before they can possibly have banelings, and you can just win the game straight up, just because they took their gas too late. So I want to mention how you do this.
게임을 일시 정지합니다.
First thing I noticed was this Overlord. You send it too far towards her natural. Yeah, no regret. It would have won 100% this game. I want to show you just how you can see that. So it's an Overlord. You don't need to send it. See, you have it rallied. If you select the Overlord, it's rallied right onto the middle there. You don't need to do that. If you send it like here, it'll still see like a 10 pool coming like down this way. It'll still see those Zerglings. But it'll also allow you to change the direction to scout her main base. If, for example, if you see her second Overlord coming, yeah, it's just this map. On most maps, you cannot check their gas when they go pool first, but on this map you can. First off, if you see their second Overlord leave their base with your first Overlord, you can immediately go straight into their main base because there's not a 10 pool. And sometimes even if well, I guess that would happen a lot of the time if you send your Overlord in a proper angle. And I think even if you send it like straight here, like straight to the ramp,
게임을
you can
계속합니다.
see
게임을 일시
just the edge of
정지함을
the hatchery
계속합니다.
and then redirect it towards the main base and check that. But yeah.
게임을 일시
So-
정지합니다.
So it was like, if it was like here, you'd see that, and you go to the main. You just go far enough to immediately check the gases, and then you run it away. You check when the gas is taken. So you see that you went to hatch gas pool, and her gas, it starts at 320 or 318. If she takes her gas later than like 305 or like 3 minutes even against a hatch gas pool, you can do a Ling banning attack. You can start your banelings like here, and your speedlings and banelings will be at her base, like at the same time she's starting banelings. So there's really no way she can defend unless she's blindly made like a spine in queens already. So if I saw that, I would just go, I'd first make 4 lings and move them out. And then I'd keep making more lings at home. Start my banelings as soon as I can. Yeah, the 4 lings are on the map. Start them into banelings and bring all the speedlings as soon as you can. Or even, you don't even really have to hide it. Like, as soon as you're starting your banelings, even if your speedlings are not done, and even if she doesn't have vision of you, just no regret. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you could just kill her straight up.
게임을 계속합니다.
Another
게임을
thing,
일시 정지합니다.
on the other hand, about going into spines. First off, if their gas is a lot quicker than you, you might want to make a spine if you're feeling like you want to play defensive, like you want to go into mutas or something. You can just make a spine to be safe if you see 2 lings. But if you see 4 lings at the start, I would almost always make a spine if I see them take a quick gas plus 4 lings. Just because that's such a tell for like a no regret build. Because 2 banelings on the other side of the map, 2 banelings is not a big deal to deal with, but 4 banelings is a lot harder. Because you don't really have time to target them down with both your queens before they can get in your drone line or before the Zerglings can kill your queens. So it's just a lot. If you see 4 lings early in an early gas,
게임을
I'd make a spine for
계속합니다.
sure, just to be safe. Just little things, but okay, banning
게임을
nest.
계속합니다.
Yeah,
게임을
so
일시
if we look
정지합니다.
here, your banning nest is done. Hers is 30 seconds away from being finished, or 35 seconds. Like if you had bannings here, like what could she have done really? Like there's nothing.
게임을 계속합니다.
Yeah, but
게임을 일시 정지합니다.
sure you can think about it. But if you have like no regret just has a blindly, which is what I think is stupid. Sorry, but I think it's stupid that he has a blindly. But if you have like a tell, like if you see a graphic so late, it's not a gamble to do it. Like you're pretty sure it's gonna work. So I think it's a good thing. I just don't like when people do it. Like no regret just does it without thinking. He'll just do it every game. He has no idea what he's doing, but he's like, "Hey, they're banning all of you. Yay!" Exactly. I would cancel the second spine immediately because first off,
게임을
he kills
일시
her banelings,
정지합니다.
and second, you don't see there's any more links coming. So I'd cancel the spine, the second spine,
게임을
but you probably do.
계속합니다.
But
게임을
and
일시
second, I
정지합니다.
mentioned this to the people watching when I was playing against you, but your overlord's a little bit too far out, and you cannot see right now if she takes a third base. So what I do with my first two overlords is, like, you have one like here and like other one here, in a way that they can't easily. I don't know if he even uses army hotkeys. Okay. So yeah, you have an overlord here and here, and then positions where they can't easily die to a queen running out. Like if you're not picking up to trap a second, like you want them like near a cliff so they can get out. But you also want to see the two most important things, and that's if she's taking a third, so you need vision of that, and if she's sending units out. First off, you don't know if she's taking a third, which is it's really bad because she can take a third here and you would have no idea. Like she could be going third base into +1 armor Zerglings, and like if you're doing something weak against that, you'd be in trouble. You're going layer, which is fine, but still it's nice to know. Because also if you say really quick third, it's probably not mutas. You like it just gives you so much more info. So yeah, it's really good to have the overlay there. And canceling the second
게임을
is fine. I think
계속합니다.
would probably be nice. What you do? Good. Start the spider. Good.
게임을 일시 정지합니다.
Binder also done. I make more infestation pits because I'm bad. I was playing state on Velshire Vestige, and I was going 2 base 2 Evo into quick ultras, and I made 4 infestation pits in a row. I had the entire map covered in creep, but I had like 6 bases, but I couldn't make ultras because I kept making infestation pits. So I really need to change that hotkey by
게임을 계속합니다. 게임을 일시
if you
정지합니다.
don't know what she's doing, you might want to make a overseer when your layer is finished. There's a downside to this though, is if you make it the overseer too early, then and she doesn't know what you're doing beforehand, she can know you're going mutas. And I was playing Snoot before, and he like kind of blind counted my mutas, and I was like talking to him about it. He says, "Oh, I just saw your overseer so quick, so I knew you're going mutas," because he knows I don't go quick roach speed, so he knew I was going mutas off that. And but at the same time, you do want to know what she's doing, because I don't. You might be able to think she's going mutas because you saw the second gas pretty quickly, and you saw late third, but you just want to double check that. So like. If you have your overlord here and here, I just take this one here, move it a bit over here, and then maybe like 30-40 seconds after your layer is finished, make it into an overseer and check, just to make her think that your layer is a little later, so you might not be going mutas. At the same time, you'll also be in time to see what they're doing, so you have time to react, if that makes
게임을
sense.
계속합니다. 게임을 일시
So you're taking
정지합니다.
your gas on your third base straight away. And while this is really good, if you're playing as mutas, you don't know she's going mutas for sure yet. Like you might have an idea she is. But like when I was playing against you, I thought you were going mutas. I wasn't sure. But I thought you were going mutas. So, and even then I did not do this because I wasn't sure. And if you take your double gas here, and she's doing a roach build, you're not going to be using these gases for a while. So it's just, it's, I think it's quite important to scout a lot. Yeah, changelings. Most pros will kill my changelings, but it's nice to have changelings. A lot of the time you'll be able to at least see something.
게임을 계속합니다.
But yeah, I think it's you want to.
게임을 일시
That goes back to
정지합니다.
scouting with an overseer later. Is you don't need these gases unless you're sure she's going mutas. Well, it does help if she's going mutas. If you're not sure, it's really not good to have the gases. But I guess you're pretty sure because you started armor right away, and Livy B likes mutas, so I guess
게임을
you can
계속합니다.
just assume a lot of the time. I don't know what she's doing.
I think she's taking way too many points.
게임을 일시 정지합니다.
Yeah, I'm confused. Opening me does AC +1 roach timing. Yeah, more spines. I might even if I feel my spider's late, I might even make more than one extra spine. I guess Shinobu, you could see I did make an extra spine. Even though I didn't know what he was doing, and it did help a lot, even though I shouldn't have moved one of my spines when I did. But if I'm sure they're doing a +1 roach timing, yes, it's good to make a few extra spines, because usually you will have extra drones on 2 base before you have drawn up your third. And also, you will take damage. Like 100% of the time, you'll take damage against the +1 attack roach timing. And if that damage is on spines rather than drones, that's obviously good for you.
게임을 계속합니다.
Now the problem with what
게임을
she's
일시
doing is
정지합니다.
she's making spores, and if you're going Muta versus Muta, you can't make this many spores. Like, she just loses the game from doing that straight up, probably. I want to talk about how to use mutas in this matchup, though, because I feel like almost nobody knows what to do in Muta versus Muta properly, and that's why a lot of people just win some, lose some, but they don't consistently win Muta versus Muta. And it's not that complex. All you have to do is you have to be aggressive with your mutas. It's really simple. You don't have to do any damage, you just have to be aggressive with your mutas. You have to have them on the opponent's side of the map. That's all you have to do. So you want your mutas like somewhere here. Even if you have less mutas than them. The thing is with Muta versus Muta, it's not like roach versus roach. You like a bigger roach ball is a better roach ball. With mutas versus mutas, they clump up, so you have no idea who's the bigger muta ball a lot of the time. So most people will not like taking blind fights, and if you push with your mutas, they'll go back and defend. If you try and like attack their base, they'll defend with the mutas, but until then, they'll usually give up ground, and they'll let you be aggressive. So what you want to do is you want to have like lings like here and here, just to any of the paths where they could run by. You want to have like a ling, just one on each, maybe one in the middle just in case. And then you want to be aggressive with your mutas. Like you want to hang them around here and try and poke into their bases, like back and forth, poke into their bases. And yeah, play the attacker always, even if you're reclining up, because they can never catch you. You're just at the same speed. And the one, I say be aggressive. It's like you need to do this if you want to win most of the time. But the one thing to avoid is never get in a position where they could cut you off with their mutas.
게임을
So,
계속합니다.
let me get these things. So
게임을
like if
일시
you're here
정지합니다.
and her mutas could be here, like that could be a bad scenario for you because you could get cut off. And if you get cut off, they can force you to engage. But as long as you know generally where their mutas are, and you keep your mutas in a scenario where your retreat path is quicker than their path to your base, you can always be on their side of the map without being at any risk. And while a lot of the time you won't really get much damage done, like most of the time you'll kill maybe a gas over the game and maybe a few drones mining gas. That's all you really need to do. But at the same time, sorry, I dropped my okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what that allows you to do, having your mutas aggressively, occasionally you will get like pickoffs if they don't make too many spores. You'll pick off a few drones. Maybe you'll force them to make more spores, but also it'll allow you to use your ling bits better, and it'll allow you to drone up more. Why this is because it forces them to keep their lings on their side of the map. That's why I said these lings here and here are important and one in the middle. Yeah, spraying like gas to kill their workers, yeah. If you can do that. A lot of times you can't if they're defending well. But what it allows you to do is you have your lings aggressively positioned. And what that does is it makes them feel unsafe. They might make more spores, they might make more queens, they might make more zerglings, and you can take your fourth base. You can make more drones at your third base. Because if they cross the middle of the map with their zerglings, you can move back and you can defend. You can defend with your mutas, you can defend with your zerglings. You'll get a more efficient trade. Because they cannot get their mutas to your base to do damage while your lings are running by. Because their mutas are closer to their base. And most of the time they won't even try that though. They'll keep their links on their side, and you can force positions where you can get your links into their base. Like you bring your mutas here, you like try and press. Well, they'll bring their mutas there if they can. Maybe you back off. Maybe you go back there and again you back off. And when you back off, they don't know where you are. Like unless they're in vision with their mutas, they don't know where you are. So then you can like go all the way around here and go to the space and press there. And maybe if their lings are out of position, you can run by into their main. And this is all just because you can do all these sorts of aggressive things only because you're on their side of the map. And in Muta vs Muta, as I said, it's hard to judge who has more units. So they don't really want to fight you.
게임을 계속합니다.
They most of the time they won't fight you.
게임을 일시
If they
정지합니다.
try and actually fight you, you also have time to back up because Muta's like turn so fast. They can't get caught unless there's infestors. So this is all I'm saying is yeah, and her castles were late and everything. And she made more bannings, like just a few things. But I'm saying like pro games and its towers taken. Well, it's just because of course you want vision, but at the same time you don't want to have too many scouting that are not part of your army. So you only want to have the most important things. Like on some maps, there'll be a watchtower out in the middle of nowhere, and you think, oh, there's no more point me taking that. Like a 4-player map, it's on the other side. It's rarely going to see something. So if you're Terran or Porthouse, you don't want to have a unit there. Like if you're Zerg, Zergling's cheap, but like if you're doing an early attack or you're doing like a rally push, like every Marine counts. So you can't have a Marine everywhere to scout all over. You just want as few as you can spread out, but at the same time you want to cover all the important areas. Yeah. Overlords are different though, because overlords, they're not taking away from your army, so you want to have those spread out if you can. Of course, it's different if, well, this is like ZVT or ZVP late game when they don't look at like Phoenixes or lots of Vikings. But going back to Mutas, yeah, I think the most important thing is just being aggressive with your Mutas. That's all you have to do. If you're aggressive, it just opens up scenarios where you can do damage. It allows you to be greedier because they're making defense, and you don't need to make any Zerglings. You can just only make Mutas and drones. Mutas and drones take your 4th base, and they also feel they don't feel comfortable taking your 4th when you're being aggressive. And you can even do this when you're behind, because it's really hard to judge a lot of the times who's ahead in Muta versus Muta. So
what if they're aggressive team? What if they're aggressive team?
What if they're aggressive too? Well, then you have to decide. You can decide, do you think you're ahead? If you think you're ahead, take the Muta fight. Like if you think you're ahead or you can micro better than them, you can take the Muta fight, like in the middle of the map, as long as no one has defender's advantage. But I think this whole thing I'm talking about is because most players are not comfortable doing that. They're not comfortable taking the fight because they don't know who's ahead. Like if you feel like you're ahead, maybe you want to do that, but most of the time people won't force a fight. And if they try and force a fight, you back off. But like maybe move your lings into the 3rd at the same time, and they might want to try and defend there so they don't cross the map with their Mutas. How do you always have your creep to your bonus phase for like 3 minutes? I talked a little bit about creep spread at the start of this, if you are here. Yeah, you can talk about it later. But yeah, that's just all I wanted to mention with Muta. And yeah, you have your Mutas on their side of the map. You try and like kill a few workers occasionally. A lot of times that won't happen. But what'll happen with being aggressive is maybe you can do damage. I'm not saying you can. But what it allows you to do is allows you to make more drones at your 3rd than take your 4th before the opponent. And then once you have your 4th up, then you know you'll have more Mutas after a little bit and you can take a fight. And that's just how you win the Mutas. It's really not that complex. A lot of people just don't know exactly what to do. Like yeah, you Shinobu, like what would you do in Muta? Like if you're like in a general game. Like do you have a general plan? Yeah, but say you have an even Muta count or a lower Muta count at the start when both people get their Mutas out, like what would you do? What would you do there? But it's like a similar timing. Take a 4th before then? Yeah. The problem with taking a 4th before them and defending is it's harder to defend if you're. It's easier to defend by being aggressive in Muta vs. Muta than it is to defend by being defensive. And this is like completely counterintuitive because pretty much the opposite in any other scenario in StarCraft 2. Like, yeah. So if you have your fourth over here, and you're playing defensive with your mutas, they can like bounce back between here and here, and it's like an equal distance. But you don't have vision of them. So you can't really defend that effectively unless you have spores at every base. Then you're putting yourself behind. And at the same time, if they're being aggressive, they can also take a fourth early too. Like if they're smart, they can take a fourth early too. So that's why I think like even if you're not wanting to attack, you can just keep your mutas on their side of the map and take the fourth earlier. Like same sort of thing. I think yeah, taking a fourth earlier, get more mutas, and then fighting is the best way. But yeah, corruptors are too slow. You can't go corruptors, or you can't run. Like if you have corruptors, you can never run from a fight because your corruptors will get picked off. So you can't really be aggressive. It's just not fun. I played Snoot when he made corruptors against me, and it didn't even work because if you do it, you have to like attack straight away. And I just brought my queens and fought him, and I won. So I don't know. Why I like Snoot? I like his playstyle can be annoying, but he is good. He's quite good. But yeah, I think it is get your fourth early, more mutas and you win. But I think it's better to do that by being aggressive than by being defensive. Shinobu. Yeah, I'm keeping Go as long as you want. Just need to drink a bit of water. No, I don't really play with Henry anymore. He's been doing other stuff than StarCraft for the most part. Yeah, and when I'm practicing, I mostly play ladder anyways. I only did when I was in the team house, but for the most part. Yeah, sure, I can do one more game, and then I'll go. Just because I was late, so I want to be nice.
We've already seen like a couple VT.
Protoss that if you want.
Yeah, can we see a Protoss of ours?
If someone has a replay, sure. I'll look if I have one, but I doubt it. Because most of my games are on Europe.
Well,
so
I just wanted to hear her like talk through a T game because I tend to lose the T's and stuff.
I'd like to hear a T game too.
Yeah, P is easier. Like I can beat P easily, but I keep on losing to Terran because I don't know what's going on.
So like
yeah,
a replay
if you want of yours, yeah, and how you would start and what you look for.
My last replay on this computer, on this account turn was from April.
Shinobu, why don't you
like
show her
April,
some
like over a
replays
month
without
ago.